Hi, I'm Jeff Dixon. Once again, we're found in the shadows. That's right. God finds us in the shadows. He doesn't leave us there. He doesn't forget us when we're in the shadows, in those dark areas of life, and we're trying our best to navigate. He is with us. In each episode, we're talking about how God is with you. And so today, I want to talk to you about this. God is with you in the waiting. He's with you in the waiting. See, when Jesus was hanging on the cross, suffering inconceivable agony, waiting to finish his Father's work, to die, give up his life, be raised up to glory, he was thinking of others. He saw his disciple John standing at the foot of the cross with his mother Mary, and he asked John to take care of her, which John did for the rest of her life. We find that out in John 19. He then turned and forgave the thief who was dying on the cross next to him. See, he also hung on that cross, and believe it or not, he thought about you. He thought about me. And you say, well, how's that possible? I wasn't even there. Yeah, we were. It was our sins that put him there. And it was for those sins that he died, so they could be forgiven, and so that we could have life. And by his example, even in those agonizing moments when he is in the darkest place he could possibly be, he teaches us at least one way to overcome our own suffering while waiting for the deliverance that is going to come at the end of it. How do you do that? You help others in the midst of their suffering. I mean, I find it absolutely amazing that Jesus was taking the time to take care of other business, if you will, on the cross. Forgiving the thief who deserved to die. But Jesus forgave him and said, today you'll be with me in paradise. First conversion, boom, right there. Looking at John, seeing John, knowing that everyone else had left, didn't enter a dialogue about where everybody else had gone, but simply saw his mom and wanted to make sure that his mom was taken care of, even though she was in agony of watching her son die. Absolutely amazing. But it reminds us that sometimes when you're in the shadows and life seems dark and you're waiting for some sort of relief, you don't just sit around and wait. You sit around and try to help others best you possibly can. See, God's plan from the beginning has been to save us from our sin, to save us from the spiritual famine and those dry deserts that we have to go through. He reconciles us to himself. He gives us peace and he gives us hope. And so Jesus' journey shows us how we travel through the shadows. Those moments in life when light is hard to find. So I remind you once again, though, that when you're in the shadows, there has to be a source of light. Make sure your source of light is coming from Jesus, and then the shadows aren't so terrifying. Remember that he is with you, even when you're suffering, even when it's hard, and even in the waiting, when you're waiting for the break to come and things to happen and the suffering to end. He's there, and he's with you. I look forward to joining you in our next episode.